Prime Minister Carney, are we already too late? None of your first 12 nation-building projects include financial sector reform. Too late isn't a gimmick because if Canada hesitates, the new rails of money will get built without us. After studying the US, UAE, EU, and China, here's what I found. A 4-part Canada plan, the secret playbook to win the crypto war, and it looks like this. This is the Canadian blueprint that could actually win. At the public announcement of a crypto framework, and I hope it is soon, a 30-day clock will start. One decision in that window flips the game, and in about 5 minutes, I'll show you that exact decision and the 12-month sprint that it will trigger. But let's rapid fire the facts first. In Washington, leaders rejected a government CBDC and supported privately issued dollar-backed stablecoins, then outlined a strategic Bitcoin reserve. That's policy acceleration, not panel talk. Dubai's Vera turned clarity into its core feature with real licenses, predictable rules, and tax certainty. And that's why digital asset firms and capital are flocking there. Meanwhile, JPM coin moves over $1 billion per day. BlackRock's tokenized funds are in the billions again, and stablecoins settle in the trillions annually. This is core financial plumbing and not hype. Based on what I've found, there are about 5 operating systems trying to compete right now. The US is led by private sector and is pro-growth. That's not surprising. The UAE is selling clarity as a product. China is demonstrating its state-controlled ambitions with possible yuan-backed stablecoins. The EU is exploring a digital euro as a public utility. And South Korea is making a pragmatic pivot to private stablecoins. And where's Canada in this picture? Committees, discussion papers, inertia. Stalling is not a strategy in a network effects game. And unfortunately, here's the humbling math. First movers capture trust, liquidity, issuers, and even custody. Laggards get absorbed and plug into someone else's rules, rails, and politics. Now imagine a Canadian small business paying a supplier on a Saturday night with a bank-grade, audited CAD or USD stablecoin. That payment settles in seconds, 24/7 with on-chain proof of reserves and instant redemption instead of 3 business days and wire fees. That would be quite cool. So in this video, Mr. Carney, you get a free playbook, a 4-part plan, and an evaluation scorecard that proves it, and the one first 30-day decision that turns too late into just in time. I mean, just in time. So here's part 1, a 2-lane regime for stablecoins. Lane 1, bank-issued tokenized deposits for wholesale and industrial use. The goal is high throughput, instant settlement, and tight integration with treasury systems so that Canada's industrial base gets faster working capital cycles. Lane number 2, non-bank CAD and USD stablecoin issued under the strictest rules on earth. 1-to-1 reserves in cash and short-term government T-bills, daily public on-chain proof of reserves, monthly third-party audits by reputable Canadian firms, and legal 24/7 redemption with enforceable SLAs. No gimmicks. Do this and a Canadian license becomes the safest digital dollar credential on the planet and the default for serious businesses transacting globally. Part 2 is single window supervision. End fragmentation with a national one-stop supervisor embedding the highest international standards. One application, one set of controls, one enforcement gateway. I know it is easier said than done, but clarity doesn't just reduce the risk, it reduces cost, accelerates launches, and signals to global markets that Canada is open for serious business, which I think will be a welcome change considering everything that is happening here. Part 3, a tokenization sandbox. Let pension funds, asset managers, and banks tokenize funds, bonds, and real-world assets under the strictest custody. Practically, this means T plus instant settlement, programmatic compliance, and composable portfolios. So a 25-year-old in Calgary can buy a slice of a high-quality fund on a weekend with guaranteed redemption rules. Part 4, a sovereign reserve. I know what you're thinking, but hear me out for a moment. Start with consolidating forfeited digital assets under transparent national governance to signal seriousness and operational readiness. Plus, develop the technical competence to custody, audit, and report in a bank-grade manner. Now, let's deal with the immediate and most obvious objections first. It's volatile, risky, and attracts criminals. Okay, that chaos lives in the unregulated Wild West. Bank-grade rules, reserves, audits, redemption SLAs, and single-window enforcement are the antidote to that. The question isn't, do risks exist? Of course they do. The better question to ask is, who manages those risks better? Canada can. The real systemic risk to Canada isn't Bitcoin, it's irrelevance. Capital flight and talent migration don't schedule an appointment. They just go where the rules are clear and the execution is absolutely clean. You cannot manage what you don't measure. So here's some of the key scorecard items to keep track of. Pause this video or screenshot it if you'd like. Canada's winning move is not to copy the American model or the Chinese model. It is to create our own by becoming the world's capital for bank-grade crypto. This means leveraging our greatest assets, a stable, respected banking system, and a history of prudent regulation and governance. So the first 30-day decision that gets Canada a foot in the game is to publicly announce that two-lane licensing regime with reserve audits and redemption rules locked and with hard dates, no vague timelines. Publish a draft at least, name a supervisor, circulate technical standards, put a clock on it. That single act of clarity turns on the bat signal for serious issuers, custodians, and funds, and the network effects finally start working in Canada's favor. Then comes the 12-month sprint, which looks something like this. Look around yourselves. Dubai, Washington, Beijing, Brussels, they're already planning, building, licensing, and accelerating. If Canada can make trust a product, we punch above our weight almost immediately. If we stall, we become a branch plant on another nation's rails and live with someone else's political risk embedded in our payment systems. Look how that turned out for us with an over-reliance on one trading partner, even though it was great for as long as it lasted. So here is the action plan. We already know what works and the first 30 days are everything. In the upcoming parliament session, get that clock started. Too early this time? How about the next session or maybe the one after that, but no later? If you think Canada needs to do something here, say it below. Share it with someone and tag more people so that they can understand this opportunity that we are potentially letting go of. Too late does not have to be our story this time, Mr. Carney. But the window is closing. And please, let's move. And perhaps this deserves some airtime from Pierre as well. So Pierre, I hope you're watching. Thank you everyone and have a great day.